Morning, everybody. It is 8:10 a.m., January 24th. Welcome to my channel. Now, yesterday, SPY made all-time highs again. Crazy end of the day move. I had a long that I will be making a video on. Unfortunately, I didn't get to catch that last piece of the move. Um, got a nice return on my trade, but that would have been an icing on the cake. That would have been the icing on the cake. But that's what I saw in my plan. How would I have expected that huge move at the end of the day? That's just trading, right? Now the QQQ, triple Q, the Qs have been relatively weaker, right? It did not make all-time highs. So very interesting there. Okay. So why don't we just get into things here? Welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use market profile and volume profile to find structure in these markets, along with supply and demand, cam exposure levels, and the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the previous day. That is the way I like to look at markets. That is my edge. That shows me structure, and then it enables me to come up with a plan, right? So hopefully you guys can join me every day. Subscribe, set an alert. I do this around 8:10 a.m. every day. Give you the recap, give you the lowdown, give market news, economic calendar, earnings, leaders and laggards, the story of the markets, right? And then around 8:30, I do a Nasdaq and ES futures analysis, right, where I give you long and short trade scenarios. Okay, long and short trade scenarios. Now, once the market opens up, that's new data that nobody knows, and you have to process it, right? If they both line up, I will put risk on. If when I put risk on, it's educational trade, I will post it. Okay, I will post that to my YouTube shorts and also to my X account. That's at Gonzo719. I'll also be putting that on TikTok, Gonzo719 Trader. Okay, and as well is Discord. I'm on Discord, Confluence Trading. Come join it. Come join it, and starting to build a little community there. Like I said, I will make more content if you join it on my YouTube homepage. Go there and check out the link for Discord. Okay, I'm already setting up some channels. I'm already giving daily gamma levels, already giving daily key levels, and now I'm going to be giving my market internals updates throughout the day on a channel. Okay, I give my thoughts in the morning. I really want to make this a community where we can all come together. Please click that link on my YouTube homepage and join. All right, let's make this big, and you have more interaction with myself. All right, alrighty. Why don't we get right into futures and see what's moving markets today? Looks like we got Ethereum here leading the pack, up 5%. Silver's up 2%, 2.04%. Bitcoin's up 1.90. Gold's up 0.88. Crude is coming back. I did have a crude at a bear put spread on that after Trump's comments about he's going to talk to OPEC and lowering oil prices. That sent oil down to almost $74 a barrel. And then I saw that, you know what, I only had 5 days left, 4 days left. I was like, you know what, I'm going to take it off because if this thing rips back up, I don't want to be sitting here going, oh. So I took it off. Nice profit on that. 10-year yields up 0.17. 30-year bonds down a little bit, down 0.06. Nasdaq's down 0.09. The VIX slightly down 0.13. ES down 0.14. The Dow is down 0.25. The dollar is down 0.30, and the Russell is down 0.30. All right, that's your futures. Let's look at the Mag 7 Plus. Okay, we got Coinbase up 1.80. Tesla's up 0.81. Apple's up 0.78. Meta's up 0.64. Google up 0.52. AMD up 0.46. Who's lagging here? Nvidia down 0.52. JP Morgan down 0.58. Eli Lilly down 1.12. They just came off a big support level. I almost put a trade on that, but I didn't. Boeing is said it might be unprofitable. There's some news about that. Down 1.13. Moving on, top sector stocks. Let's look at these together. Salesforce up 0.40, Snowflake up 0.38, Uber's up 0.2. Not a lot of strength there in in this particular watch list. Laggards, Visa down 0.13, Procter and Gamble down 0.61, and Goldman Sachs. So financials, it seems, is taking a hit this morning. There has to be a reason for that. Um, Goldman Sachs down 1%, over 1%. Okay, now interesting. Let's go to swing trade list. Get an overall market view here. Let's look at the Twilio. Twilio's up 17.04%. Wow. I was looking at that stock when it was like 60 bucks. Now it's at 113 or 132. I'm sorry, right now. Amazing. All right, then we got a firm up 4.46, Riot up 2.08, Bitcoin ETF up 2.04, Mara up 1.55. We'll finish it out with the one percenters. MicroStrategy is up 1.3, 1.2, Hood up 1.17, Bob is up 1.13, Nubank up 1.07, Gold Junior Miners up 1.06, Chewy up 1.05, Gold up 1%. All right, let's look at some laggards. We have Texas Instruments. I believe they reported earnings. They're down 3.84. I don't know why I can't remember what CF is, but CF's down 3.19. ISRG down 2.08. Viking Therapeutics down 1.97, and Nextera Energy, I believe they reported earnings. They are down 1.08%. Okay, that wraps that up. Now we can move on to the sectors, the guts of the market, I like to call it. Let's see here. The leader is basic materials. All right, so this morning looking like a risk off. Basic materials is leading up 0.07, followed by communications up 0.03. I know Verizon reported earnings, so see how that is. And then laggards, I would say, is financials down 0.18, semis down 0.24, but not a lot of weakness, not a lot of strength here. And followed by healthcare down 0.28. It's probably because Eli Lilly's down a percent, right? Now, that wraps up watch lists. Let's get into economic calendar and some news. All right, so let's pull that up. All right, let's see our economic calendar today. Okay, we got a double dose of data here. 9:45, you got a bunch of PMI, services manufacturing, right? 10 a.m. you have existing home sales with Michigan consumer sentiment. Okay, so really, I gotta wait till the dust to settle after 10 a.m. to want to do anything. All right, let's move on to some news. Here we go. Verizon stock fell zero point 0.4 after the telecom major forecast annual free cash flow and profit below expectations. Boeing stock fell 1.2% after the aircraft manufacturer said it would post a bigger than anticipated loss of around $4 billion in its most recent quarter. American Express. So here's some financial, right? American Express stock fell 0.3 despite the financial giant reporting a 12% jump in fourth quarter profit as more consumers swiped cards during the holiday season for travel and online shopping. Okay, here we go. Novo Nordisk. Stock soared 13% after the Danish drug maker said subcutaneous trials of its highly anticipated experimental medicine, amycretin, showed patients using the treatment shed as much as an estimated 22% of their body weight. That's why Eli Lilly is down. Okay, now Tesla stock rose 0.9 after deliveries of a revamped version of the EV manufacturer's Model Y SUV in the US in March will start around 60 grand. Texas Instruments dropped 4.2% after the analog chip maker forecast first quarter profit below estimates as it grapples with the inventory buildup in its key automotive and industrial markets. Affirm Holdings stock rose 4.2 after the Wall Street Journal reported that the fintech company has secured a $750 million funding commitment from Liberty Mutual's asset management unit. Twilio stock soared 16% after the cloud communication software maker announced that it expects adjusted earnings to come in at the top range of guidance for the fourth quarter and unveiled positive guidance for the next couple of years. Wow. Now, let's move over here to some other news if there's something here. Now, this is telling us Feds to hold state rates steady at an unsteady moment. U.S. Federal Reserve policymakers meeting next week are expected to keep interest rates on hold, but the larger story unfolding will be how the central bank confronts early moves by President Donald Trump that are likely to shape the economy this year, including demands the Fed continue lowering borrowing costs. Okay, let's see what else. If there's nothing else I didn't cover here, and if there isn't, we just move on. Let's see, J.P. Morgan. The banking giant said on Thursday that long-serving CEO Jamie Dimon's 2024 ads about his pay. We know about Novo Nordisk. Um, United Health Group. Let's see what they said. The company on Thursday named Tim Noel, the head of its Medicare business, to the top job at its health insurance business a month after the unit's former CEO Brian Thompson was killed. Okay. Let's see. GE Aerospace raises target price. Travelers Companies 5% raises target price to 310. Union Pacific Jeffrey raises target price to 255 from 250. All right, let's go right into the juice. Didn't really have anything today, so let's go into upgrades, downgrades. We'll just go through these and then we'll get right to daily charts. All right, upgrades. Let's see here. Upgrades. Netflix upgraded to market perform to outperform. We got Sherman Williams. That's basic materials. That's probably why that's up a little bit. Hold to a buy. Travelers Companies upgraded. Twilio upgraded. All right. Downgrades. Let's see here. CF Industries downgraded. Freeport McMoran, I believe it's a minor, downgraded. PVH downgraded. Okay. Let's go to price targets and we'll kill it there. All right, start with target raises. All right, let's see. Visa target raised. Union Pacific target raised. United Airlines target raised. Toyo target raised. Team Atlassian target raised. PayPal target raised. Let's see what else. MasterCard target raised. Intuitive Surgical target raised. GE Vernova target raised. General Electric target raised. Bath and Body Works target raised. And Alaska Air Group target raised. Now, get some target lowers. Royal Caribbean Cruises, Levi's, Foot Locker. So a bunch of retail here. What else here? All right, that will conclude that. Let's get right into daily charts. Now, I guess I can come right over to here. Earnings today, after the close yesterday, was Texas Instruments, Intuitive Surgical. All right, so that's it. And then this morning, Verizon, American Express, Nextera Energy, Ericsson. So that wraps up our earnings for the week. Moving on to the daily charts here. Just give me 1 second. All right. Let's look at our good old SPY making an all-time high yesterday. This is a pretty meteoric run here. Sling load here, and it just gap up, gap up, gap up, gap up, and then that monster move at the end of the session yesterday, right? Took out this consolidation. Unbelievable, right? That is, let's see if I can, sometimes I don't get this on the screen. Let's see, that is, oh, that's not where I want it. Let's go from here. Oh, it's not giving me that data box. How annoying. All right, anyway, I'm going to see the percentage move. I believe it's over 5%. All right, so where are we at today? 609. Let's just call it 609.05. So 609. So we are right about at last month's highs. That's where we're at. Now, this market is pretty frothy. We could consolidate, move sideways. We can find ourselves filling this gap. I don't know, right? Well, I don't know. We now have a little resistance of yesterday's highs. Let's look at futures. Now, futures did not set all-time highs yesterday. You still have 61.78. All right, broke this trend line. Get rid of this. All right, now just look at this, boy. Higher low, higher low, higher low. And now you can see yesterday's range right here, the highs. We're kind of putting a weak high here. Okay, and then we got kind of like this little indecision candle for today. Though that obviously opened up at 6 p.m. Last night. So that's what's going on futures. I mean, you really can't, look to the left here. That's that consolidation that's stopping futures. Okay, let's go over to the Qs. All right, here's the Qs. Now the Qs, notice all-time highs 539.15. It is not near there. Okay, and look what happened yesterday. You couldn't even take out the previous day's highs. Relatively weak yesterday. Relatively weak. Okay, still broke the downtrend. Okay, where are we at now? 532.33, 532.33. So right about here, right close to the close. Okay, right close to the close. I would say, I already said 539.15 is all-time highs. Let's look at the futures. He broke that downtrend, so we can get rid of that. And we're kind of like, look at the Qs. They're kind of just moving sideways, right? They're not just rip, rip, rip like the ES SPY, right? Just have to see. Now the next resistance would be, it almost hit it though, 22.105. Pretty much this candle hit that. If you break this swing high here, you're looking at, looks like there's supply, daily supply here. You're looking at 22.248 and 22.450 is all-time highs. Okay, happens to be last month's highs. So we're way over last week, making new ranges. This is a previous week's highs that were over. So we have to see what happens. All right, moving on to the triple-headed monster. That's your bond market. That's your dollar and your VIX. Let's look at those. 10-year yield. Now, is this a swing low? Are we going to see higher yields? I don't know, right? Because you bounced off last week's lows, and now you have to see. You got to kind of flattening out 20, a rising 50. The 9 EMA is going flat, which you could tell here, kind of balancing. That's all you need to really see, and we have to see. Do we drop or do we go? Now, I know Trump said that he wants to have Powell lower rates. We'll see. Okay, now let's look at that dollar. That good old Dixie. Now the dollar, look at that. Interesting. Took a turn lower. Right to the 50-day moving average, right? Got bought up. Right? You kind of broke this support here. So, interesting. Right? Now, the market would want a lower dollar. That's better for equities. Okay? That's better for equities. And you want yields to go down. That's better for equities. The more these go up, dollar goes up, more bonds yields go up. That puts pressure on markets. Eventually, will put pressure on the markets. All right, let's look at the VIX, the fear gauge. We are at a 15 VIX. All right, today's volume actually is a little better. So now yesterday in the session, it was horrible price action, and then Trump started speaking, and the volatility picked up, and it really picked up when he talked about oil. So. But we're moving sideways here in the VIX, and the fear is starting to come out of this market. And what's the fear right now, right? Just made a meteoric rise. Okay. Now, let's get over to our main event, and that is our market profile, volume profile. Give me a sec while I pull that up. All right, we are here, and let's talk and let's get levels. I can recap the trade I did yesterday. All right, first let's just look at the market. Let me put this down. All right, let's expand it a little bit here. All right, so let's look at the markets here. All right, let's spread this out. Okay, so yesterday we opened here, and you can see this little consolidation. This is that horrible price action. And what did we do? We came down to the previous day's lows right here. Couldn't go any farther, right? And I took a short here and it went all the way down here, and I just kept that at break even. I got stopped out, But then this told me I almost went long here, right here. I was like, because at this time Nasdaq went into demand, and I was like, oh man. But at this point, the ticks were very red, and it was kind of divergent. So that's why I shorted. But then it kind of started to reverse, and then look what happened, right? You made this move all the way up to here, all the way up almost to the previous day's highs. Now, internals were strong, so I did not want to get short. So I waited, and I waited right here. And I was like, all right, I'm interested. I'm interested. The best entry would have been 60.25. I actually got in around here. 60.28 stop loss, like a 3 point stop loss. Rode that to here, right? And I was like, oh, cool. I'm out. Not out here, but like I think I got stopped out here. Yeah, around 60.34. That's where I had my stop. Got me out, right? And I was like, all right, because what I was thinking was we broke the previous day's highs, and the market wasn't crazy strong. And then I just said, whoa, this just ripped, right? It took all these shorts out. So, which is fine. All right. So I will be making a video about that. Now, this is considered a spike. All right. Spike. You want to talk about some spike rules here. All right. So let's look at levels together. Now we have a profile, and this profile is a little nuts. You have a distribution. You have a gap. You have new value here, and you're making some excess here, right? And we know our most traded price now has moved higher again, 61.30, 61.30. It's moved up, right? That's just bullish, right? It's nothing to say, but it's bullish. All right, now you can see this very prominent middle of this session. It's a little baby session. It's got a little poor low here. All right, so let's look at this together. We made new highs in the overnight. So we have yesterday's highs, overnight highs, overnight lows. Yesterday's lows are right here, right? So we're holding, and this is how you look at this little spike here. Okay, if you hold in the spike, that's bullish, right? So we're holding these higher prices, right? Because price is right here. We're holding higher prices because price is right there. I don't know if I introduced this, the market profile on profile. I didn't. I just have to put that up there. All right. So let's look at some levels together. Right off the bat, let's see here. Well, the one thing I would say, you got demand zone, and you're encompassing the most traded price of yesterday and of the week. 61.30 is the most traded price of the week. So bulls just want to hold that. You got demand here, got a spike here, you got single prints here. Okay, so that's one. Bulls want to hold that. Now you kind of have a weak high here, 64, 61, 54 to 56. You can see this was a naked VPOC, which is an untested most traded price of a day from the past. Okay, so bulls want to break this, then you do have some overhead supply. Okay, you do have some overhead supply up here. Okay, this market's super frothy, right? But look what's happening, sentiment, what's going on. It can just keep going. We're gonna get a pullback eventually, but who knows when that happens. Okay, so trying to see what else levels wise we can talk about. All right, let's get right into. I think we're just gonna get into scenarios here. No more wasting time. Let's do it. All right, so most traded price of the week, I already said 61.30. Also, yesterday's most traded kind of line up with this demand zone, right? So this little box here, all right. If price falls here, I'm just now right, based on the market, what's been doing. Obviously, I want to see if it can defend this level. Okay, got a little poor low here, so we can break this poor low. So if it comes in here, I'm just gonna watch. And if the market is not that weak or it's a little strong, this could definitely be an area. Now, If it comes in here perfectly, boom, 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 you're going to want to break this 61.54, 61.56, and you got supply starting at around 61.58. Now in SPY, there's no resistance, there's no overhead supply, but in the futures there is. Okay, so that's what that is. All right, now this does not mean bearish if you drop under here because we're moved so high. It's just like in the last, it's inch more like in the last week. This is bullish, right? Most traded price of the month is still way down there. Okay, so depending on the market, right? Let's say we did fall. Okay, we did fall into this big demand zone, right? Into this big demand zone. You have an unfilled gap here. If the market is not that weak, right, and we take this out, I'm going to look at around the 6102, 6100 area. That's the week to date VWAP, anchor VWAP right here. And if it's not that weak, I'm going to see if I can possibly come right back up to here. Okay. Now, what also can happen, okay, is let's just say we do this, push up, break that high, hold, 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 and then move up. Okay. I'm going to get rid of this. All right. So that's your long side. All right. Let's go to short side. All right. So we know we have 61.56, 61.64. That's a confluence high right here. You have a little supply right up here. All right. So we know we've been a little frothy, right? So if I want to get short, all right, if we come down here, push up, come onto this weak high, hit this supply, come off of it, lower high, maybe you come back down to where? 61.30, most traded price of the week. Okay, if you break this and start to hold, find acceptance, 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 and you start making your way lower, right? You can break yesterday's lows around 61, I think it's 61.12. Start to fill this gap. The gap fill is at 60.93. Now there's a lot of demand here, right? But this is if the market is super weak with market internals, right? I told you, join my community, and I have a channel where I post the market internals periodically throughout the day. You can see how they're shaping. Now, market internals is how I gauge of what the market is capable of. Okay? What the market is capable of. So that gives me a good sense of, let's say the market comes down here, right? And it's super, super weak. Well, we could start cutting through this demand, right? Probably take a little pause here and see if we can go down, right, to last week's lows. I don't think that this happens. I just have to put it there. I'm just going to put it there because realistically, we might just break this, break that high, fill the gap maybe, and bounce. That would be fine too. Okay, so that's the short side. Okay, that's the short side. Now remember, Confluence Trading, my Discord, like I said, links in my YouTube page. Come join. I'm going to be sharing more and more content. Okay, more people join, more content, the more interaction you have with me. Okay, and you can fire away questions. I usually go live, get my market after the market opens. I share what I'm looking at, right? So back to here. That was a short, right? So let's go to the Nasdaq now. Nasdaq. All right, Nasdaq. Oh, let me just show you something real quick. Very important. Part of why I traded the ES right here. Now I showed you guys this the other day, but just to send it home here. Remember I said 60-30, the 60-30 area, right? 60-33, I think to be exact. Let's see here. What was that high volume node? 60-32, 60-33, right? Which is now the most traded price of the week. You can see it right here, basically. It's kind of roughly right there, right? That's what I said when we were down here, where our destination could be. And then I said we have to start establishing value above here. Okay? Now you can see in futures, we have a very incomplete profile of the rolling year. This heat map is the rolling year. Look how incomplete. There's no excess. If you look to the left, see these 3 weeks, excess was not put in. So if we're going to make a run, maybe we go up to 6,300, make a nice excess, right? So just wanted to share that with you. Okay. And why don't we look at the NASDAQ before we analyze it? So NASDAQ's most traded price of this year, 213.38, 213.50. Okay, that's the area. We moved away. And now look, we're building value out here. 220.10 to 2014, right? And you do have excess from last year, right? You're not like the ES. You made a high and had excess. So let's see what we do here. Okay. Now, let's go back to the NASDAQ and let's analyze the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ's got like really skinny volume here, distribution, that's the gap. Then you got more value and we got a little excess, right? Now, notice this, 220.20 is the new most traded price of this week, right? You can see this market's having a little trouble accepting value above that. Okay, it's having a little trouble. Okay, doesn't mean it's weak, just having a little trouble. Now this is bullish that it made the most traded price of the week up here. It's not bearish. Okay, but this could become like a wall. All right. Now, if we're looking at yesterday, the NASDAQ has a weak low here. Confluence low right here, 218.62. Right there. And I shorted the ES yesterday, hoping to break this because the market, NASDAQ, was relatively weak, right? But then it found its footing. It dipped into this demand zone. That's where it got bought up, right? And then it started rising, right? All right. So what levels do we talk about in here? Well, obviously, to 2020, the most traded price of the week. That is key. Okay. So bulls want to accept value above this level to move higher. Bears want to keep that acceptance below that level and maybe come down and break this week low, this confluence low of 218.66, right? Because what do you have right there? You have an unfilled gap, you have some single prints, and you have the week to date VWAP. All right, this is the anchored VWAP up for the week, the beginning of the week, down here. Okay. All right. Now let's look at what levels we have. Okay. Let's look at some levels we have. So, let's see here. See. That's interesting. Give me a sec here. Okay. I'm just one level was throwing me off a little bit. All right. Let's look at this. All right. So, that key level here, right? So we have a weak high as well in this supply. So the NASDAQ has hit this supply once, twice, 3 times, and is now, it's get rejected there, right? Along with this most traded price of the week. All right. So that's really our gauge. Okay. 250, 220, 59 to 51. Bears want to defend that supply and this most traded price of the week. And you have that weak confluence low, 218.62 to 66. That is really where I want to see reactions, right? So with that being said, why don't we get into NASDAQ scenarios, okay? And we're going to start with the bull side. Well, actually, yeah, we'll start with the bull side. Okay, so we have big demand here. Okay, a lot of demand here. Okay, here, big demand, and demand lower. All right, and you have the most traded price of yesterday right here. Okay, so a couple things can happen here. Now you have the most traded price of the week right here, 220.20. So first, you want to see if this market can push up and hold this level, right? Acceptance. Then you can possibly take out this resistance level of 221.10. Okay, and there's single prints above. Next demand zone's around 220 222. Okay, that's one. Now if we fall back into this demand and hold the most traded price of yesterday, you could then, I would take some off here and see if you can do this as well. Okay, and I would say all the way to here, depending on if the market's not weak, that's a part you probably only go here in that case. Okay, so that's really the long side. Now the short side, okay, what do we have? We do have supply that's been acting as resistance. 3 sessions have had resistance there, right? We do know the most traded price of the week is 220.20. So this is activity for bears. All right, we do know we have our week low, our confluence low, 218.62 to 66, and an unfilled gap right here. Okay, so if this market cannot find value or find acceptance above this level, it could get a little pullback. So what I'd like to see is try an attempt to find acceptance, and let's say it goes through here and does this. Well, probably going to want to maybe go short depending on internals, and then take some probably off here at the most traded price of yesterday and see if we can break that week low right here. 218, I think I was 66, 62. All right, if we break that, I would think we could probably bypass the anchor VWAP of the week and fill the gap. Okay, that could bounce after the gap fill. However, if the market is weak and you take out 217.47 right here, okay, we could go down to here. This is an untested VPOC of a day, naked VPOC 216.23 about. If you knock that out, you're going to go straight down to the most traded price of the month, the most traded price of the year, and that's 213.50. I don't, like I said, I just put it into scenarios. I think maybe this is more likely. All right. So that is the breakdown for today. It is Friday. Okay, it is Friday. So we have our plans. All right, we have our plans. I like them. All right, now hopefully we get some decent volume today and decent price action. And I'm just going to sit back. Okay, I'm going to sit back. Okay, now if you did enjoy my analysis, please smash that like button. That would be much appreciated. All right, much appreciated. And of course, if you're new, subscribe, set alert. Every day I do this around 8:10 a.m. and you have a cup of coffee, have a cup of tea, water, be in the shower, driving in your car. I'll give you the recap of the markets. I'll give you the latest news. I'll give you the economic calendar, leaders and laggards, the story of the market. I give you long and short trade scenarios, and of course, if risk is going to be put on, and I owe a video, so a video is coming, I will post that video and hopefully help you out how I see the market. All right. And I post that on my YouTube shorts. So you can check it out there. You can check it out on my X account at Gonzo719. You can go to TikTok also, Gonzo719 Trader. Gonzo719 Trader. And the new Confluence Trading. That's my new Discord. Please come join. The link is in my YouTube homepage. Click on it, join, say hi. And I'm trying to build a community there. Okay, and eventually there'll be education, a lot of stuff that I talk about. I'm going to start making more content, so please join there. All right, I talk about options as well, so option trades are on there, the ones that I'm doing. So I don't talk about that a lot on here, but ask me some questions. That's what I'm there for. All right, so come join Confluence Trading. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. And come join the Discord, and then you can we can have some interaction today live. All right. Everybody have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys Monday.